Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome. My name's GBay99, and today I'm going to be bringing you guys a gameplay commentary. Today we're going to be playing Quinn in the top lane up against a Jace. Gameplay commentaries aren't something that I've actually done that often in the past. I used to do them occasionally on the channel, but I haven't done them that much recently. Although I've been thinking recently, maybe we should start making some more gameplay commentaries. I'm trying to make a lot more content just in general and a lot more diversified content. And a lot of people did used to really like the gameplay commentaries. So, hopefully this one will go pretty well. And if you guys would like to see more, be sure to leave a comment down below in the description telling me so. But let's go ahead and get into this gameplay and get into this commentary. We are, as I said, playing Quinn in the top lane up against Jace. Quinn top lane is something that is a bit of an oddball pick, but it's something that's actually really strong. It's like Vayne top lane. Vayne was pretty popular a little while ago. I haven't really seen her that often since, mostly probably because of the sorts of champions that are run top lane right now. But I think Quinn is actually really underrated just as a champion in general, and she's also really underrated as a top laner. Any of you who know Azin Zaganite, the Smash player, Azin from the Smash documentary, he actually got to Diamond 1 through only pretty much exclusively playing Quinn. Let's go ahead and talk about Quinn though. I am running Quinn right now with pretty standard AD carry type runes and masteries. For runes, we have armor penetration reds, we have health per level yellows, flat magic resistance blues, and flat attack damage quintessences. And for masteries, we are running 2190. It's pretty standard for an AD carry, except for the armor pen. Armor pen is mostly because you are playing top lane, but that's basically what you do when you play Quinn in the top lane. You're playing an AD carry in the top lane, and as weird as that may sound to some of you, it definitely works out really well, and here's a perfect example of why. This is the basic combo that you get when you play Quinn. Right there, you saw that I got my passive on Jace. It goes passive, auto attack, E to reapply the passive, auto attack, and then throw out your Q. That gives you a ton of damage, and it mitigates a ton of damage against anyone whose primary damage comes from auto attacks like Jace. Jace actually, I guess it's kind of arguable whether his QE combo does more damage in the end than just his auto attacks do, but his auto attacks are definitely a big part of that, and you can see, you'll be seeing in this game, I'll be doing quite well against Jace. Not super well. This isn't a game where I stop or anything, because I am still pretty new to Quinn. I definitely do not claim to be a Quinn expert or anything, and Quinn isn't, she's not my bread and butter the way other champions like Aurelia, Jax, Gnar, or Poppy are, but you can see, you'll be able to see some of the cool stuff that you can do with Quinn. Right there you can see the escape potential. Quinn does very well on escapes from ganks on any jungler that doesn't have ridiculously hard CC. Shyvana definitely does not have ridiculously hard CC, and I was able to escape pretty quickly there. After I escape, I go ahead and back and then make my way back up to top lane and then just start CSing. You'll see Jace actually, I believe, just left and went to back himself, and he's not going to come back to lane for a little while here. Jace is, I think there's going to be a team fight that breaks out mid lane or something, and he's going to go ahead and roam a little bit there, but I'm going to do my best to just CS perfectly here and freeze the wave. Freezing the wave is something that not really many people do anymore. Freezing the wave used to be like a ridiculously big thing in Seasons 2 and Season 3 also. I'm not too sure why it fell out of favor. The runes and masteries got changed around a little bit. That made it a little bit more difficult to freeze the wave effectively as a top laner. And I guess the meta sort of shifted away from just sort of last hitting forever. But that's what I'm going to do right here, as Jace is roaming a little bit too early for his own good. I'm going to CS here, make sure that I can deny Jace all the XP and gold that I possibly can, and then probably look for a kill as soon as he gets back to lane, seeing as I just hit level 6. Level 6 on Quinn is a big kill potential. It's just a ridiculously strong power spike you have, period. You'll see in a second here. Right now, Jace is not level 6. His level 6 isn't as big as mine. Quinn does very, very well at level 6. Although it does definitely have, some cons to the pros that it has. Here, gonna go in for the basic combo, the double passive, the Q, and then when I realize how low he's getting, gonna go forward with the ulti, pop it, and get the first kill for me, not the first blood, but a pretty nice kill. The ulti is very, very strong on Quinn. It's actually a pretty, like, it's a very odd ulti for an AD carry to have. I don't necessarily think it's probably not that good of an ulti if you're playing Quinn as an AD carry, and it's not the sort of thing that you typically want to use as an AD carry because it puts you in the middle of a team fight if you're, like, in a full-on 5 versus 5 fight. But it's something that's pretty strong as a top laner, although it does have a few weaknesses, like the Valor Q and E and the Quinn Q and E do not have separate cooldowns. They both have the same cooldown, meaning that if you use Q and E on Quinn, you probably saw in that last clip, I used my Q and E and I wasn't able to use it again as soon as I turned into Valor because they share the same cooldown, which kind of sucks. But anyway, moving on. Here you can see after I back on picking up that kill, I'm going to roam down mid lane a little bit, see if I can force some small skirmish. Quinn does very, very well in small skirmishes and split pushing. She's not very strong in team fights, 5-on-5 engages, but right here you'll be able to see with my ulti again, I'm going to be able to catch out Caitlyn here. Awesome Vel'Koz ulti. She almost gets away, but I'm going to flash forward, get the final auto attack for the Q, or for the kill, and then take a dark binding right to the face. But all in all, that was a pretty solid kill. But as I said, Quinn's strengths definitely come from small skirmishes like that and not from full-on 5 versus 5 engages, and that sort of comes with the risk that you run when you do run an AD carry in the top lane. AD carries and AP carries used to be so popular in seasons 1 and 2 in the top lane because, you know, before North America or even Europe started running AD carry support in the bottom lane, you would throw an AD carry or an AP carry in the mid and top lane to make sure that they got all the solo XP and everything. But anyway, the point is, you know, now that the meta has evolved a bit and that people are throwing much more important, I shouldn't say more important, but people are throwing, you know, roles that you need into the top lane. Tanky people that have strong initiations, that have a lot of CC. It's not typically that often that you see something like a Vayne top lane or a Quinn top lane, even though they have very strong laning and they have just a ton of strong things about them, but it definitely can work. You'll see here. Right here, Shyvana's coming up for another gank, but even though I'm out of mana, not going to be able to finish me off because Quinn has a, you know, just getting that E off is more than enough to make sure that I live, and then the Bilgewater and passive is just going to be a little bit of insurance there. After last hitting that wave, I'm going to back and then go ahead and down here. We see the dragons up. We want to take this dragon. They want to take dragon too. We're gearing up for a 5 versus 5 fight, and that is what we don't want to be doing. Right there, you can see I'm taking so much rest here as Quinn. This is not something like I'm playing this like I'm a normal top laner, like I'm Aurelia, like I'm Jax, like I'm Malphite, and I want to, you know, be in the front line and battle for map position with the enemy front line. That's not what you want to do with Quinn, and that's something that I've actually struggled a little with trying to play her as much as I can recently, because I do think she's pretty fun, but I definitely need to get the positioning down because I'm so used to being in the front line. You can see here, if Morgana lands a binding on me just once, they can very, very easily burst me down. I do not have a team strong enough to, like, you know, maybe with a Nami ulti or something, but right there, bam, taking a binding to the face. I try to use my abilities, but Caitlyn's ulti is going to finish me off. Tristana and Nami just sort of let me die, but in the end, that's going to be worth it. You can see here they did use a lot, and they're getting really low, taking a lot of damage from Dragon. And with a really nice team fight here, a perfect Vel'Koz ulti, a really strong play by everyone else who was still alive other than me, they're, you know, they definitely will be able to finish that off. Vi's going to die, but, you know, that's going to be worth it. That's going to be 2 for 3 and a dragon. I believe we picked up the dragon there. After realizing my mistake, though, I'm going to go back to farming top lane, doing what Quinn does best, and that is split pushing. Quinn does very well split pushing. The build that you go is actually kind of debated. You know, not that many people play Quinn, so there's not that much of a build that's like set in stone. But the build that I go is I go for a Blade of the Rune King, typically into a damage item, either Infinity Edge or sometimes a Brutalizer into that one item that I'm forgetting the name of it, but you guys know, not the Black Cleaver, but the other one, Yomu's Ghostblade. Typically, that's the build that I go into something like a Last Whisper and then defensive items like Banshee's Veil and Guardian Angel, and that's typically all you need on Quinn because she does a lot of damage. Right here you can see I'm going to harass Jace down here because I see Vi's coming for a tower dive, so I want to say, hey, you know, he's going to clear out the wave here, but let's see if we can harass him down. Just those passive auto attacks are enough to take him so low that Vi's going to be able to go there. He's trying to back. You can see on the minimap she goes in with the ulti, bam, kills him on her own. We get the assist. Good job, Vi. And now we're going to go ahead and take this tower. This is what Quinn does very well with, though. Quinn does well in small skirmishes and split pushing, and that's what you need to like learn how to do, which isn't something that you normally do as a top laner if you play someone like MacLeod or Aurelia. You know, typically you're all team fight oriented, but that's what you want to avoid when you play Quinn. Sometimes it's a little bit difficult, but it can definitely work out really well if you do play Quinn correctly. Not only can it work out well for your team, but it's also just really, really fun. Normally split pushing isn't actually all that fun, but it's pretty fun when you do it as Quinn, something I can't really understand. Here, I'm going to get caught out by, you know, not having enough wards or enough map awareness. Everyone was missing. I'm going to go ahead and die there, and, you know, that was a bit of a dumb death, but we're going to work our way, we'll work our way back up to top lane and continue our split push. Now, the thing about Quinn that I think might actually just be so enjoyable for me is the fact that she is such an unconventional pick. I've talked, you know, it's obviously unconventional to run 280 carries with one of them in the top lane instead of a typical bruiser or tank or someone that provides so much more to team fights. It's typically unusual to do that, obviously, but it's also just unusual the way that you play her. You don't play her to win team fights, which is such an odd part of League of Legends. You play her to really spread their team out very, very thinly. You can see right here Shyvana and Jace coming top lane trying to deal with me, but they, you know, they can't kill me. Right there I can use my W. Using my W isn't something I've done that much in the past of this gameplay. The W is something that it's a little bit weird. Sometimes you want to just like spam the W over and over to see if you're getting ganked as often as possible. I typically like to save the W for when the like I feel like I'm getting ganked, or for when the enemy tries to like juke me into a brush and then I can just W and get the vision of them. That's typically what I try to save the W for, but regardless. Here you're going to see Katarina come top lane again. You know, you can just see though, take a look at the minimap. Right now, they're doing a pretty good job of like trying to counteract our split push and shove down mid lane, but they're not going to be able to take that tower. Right now, I'm pushing down top lane. Tristan is pushing down bottom lane, and they could potentially lose 2 inner turrets and not even take that outer one if they can't take that outer one on their own. And right now, you know, you can see our team is forcing them back. That's what Quinn excels so much at, and that's one of the reasons that I like her so much. She's such an oddball pick in the sense that, you know, right here, I'm very fortunate to have a very good team this game, but Quinn just really throws off a team in the same way a split-pushing Master Yi, a split-pushing Tryndamere, a split-pushing Jax does. But she has the added bonus of if you do want to show up and you want to, you want to show up and actually be with your team and clean up whatever kills there are, she can just get there so quickly with her ultimate, and then with all of her skills, she can clean up very, very easily, very, very well. Right here, you can see Tristana took the bottom inner. Right now, I think only one person is alive, and that's Katarina, which you can see on the minimap right there. She's still mid lane, so I'm going to go ahead and take this tower. I probably won't be able to take the inhib because they're spawning. I'm going to stand forward a little bit here to make sure that my creeps stay focused on the tower so I can kill that as soon as possible. You know, that's going to they're going to be able to harass me down a little bit, but they can't finish me off. I am too strong. I had my ulti anyway. If I wanted to get out of there, I had Blade of the Rune King. I'm going to be able to just back and right there take. It's like 20 minutes into the game, take an inhib. I'm going to teleport to that ward I just placed, though, and show you another tactic with Quinn. Quinn's ulti, like, look at that. Jace is at 100%. Bam, just a few auto attacks, just a few abilities, and he's at 0. He's not able to do anything to us. Granted, you know, he isn't having the best of games. I forget what score he has right now, but he's not feeding super hard, but he's not doing that well. But we aren't doing that well either. We're at, like, what? I can't see the score right now. I think it's like 3-3. Or 3-3, 3-2, something like that. And then here, Katarina comes up. That was, you probably actually couldn't even tell. We interrupted her ultimate with that E, which was great. And then throw a Q in there. Don't even have to use the W to get vision and finish her off. Another kill. That's a nice, easy double kill. And just sort of shows how well Quinn can fight in these smaller skirmishes and fight people when they come at her one at a time, or, you know, try to go in very, very slowly. As I've been saying over and over, she doesn't do that well in those hard-on engages where it's like everyone's all built up and then someone initiates with a Malphite Orianna combo or something, but she does so well in every other elongated team fight. Right there, I missed the E. You can use your E to jump over a decent amount of walls and a decent amount of terrain, but you can't if you miss it, then you're going to have to blow your flash like I did there. Right here, though, I'm going to split push some more. It might look boring. It might look annoying. I'm sure it is annoying for the enemy team, but it's pretty fun to be a part of. Going to split push some more with Tristana and take an inhib right there. And, you know, we are just opening up their base so much. It's wonderful. It's beautiful. I love it. It's something that's really, really fun to play. And I really, really enjoy Quinn. I know I probably sound like a broken record to you guys, but it's really enjoyable. Normally, it's not that fun to just be a split pusher all game, just farm and split push 24/7, but it's something that's pretty enjoyable with Quinn, the way that you really do force a team to spread out, because you do have that added duality of not just being the annoying split pusher of like a Singed or a Tryndamere, where it's like you might die 1 versus 1 in the early game and you keep on dying over and over, but you get strong in the late game no matter what anyway. That sort of thing. It's like, okay, you can split push like that and that's fine. But Quinn has that really strong presence where even if she is split pushing and someone does come and try and stop her, she can do the 1v1. And right here, you're going to see she definitely has some strengths in the team fights. Vel'Koz just demolishing Jace right there, but we're going to pop our ulti. We're going to finish off the Shyvana. We're going to go after the Morgana. Just a few auto attacks, 3 auto attacks and a Q and the E, of course, and that's going to finish her off. Our team's going to go finish off the Baron, and I'm going to see if I can get a little something on this Caitlyn, maybe. Nope, she's going to go ahead and get a nice 90 caliber net away. I didn't use my Blade of the Ruined King there. I think if I got that Blade of the Ruined King on her, I probably would have flashed after and tried to finish her off. But we are going to pick up the Baron. We're going to buy a few items and then look to make a final push towards the base. And as you can see, if you take a look at that mini-map, like, the enemy team has had a very, very rough game this game. Vel'Koz picking up another kill there. Just taking a look at that mini-map, though, that does a very... that sort of tells the story of this game, which is... of course, I was fortunate to have a very strong team, but it also does exemplify how strong Quinn is if you play her right. If you don't just go for those hard-on engages when you're even or when you're slightly behind or something. If you really do go ahead and, like, look at all that damage. Look at all that damage in a small skirmish. That's the power of Quinn, and it's definitely something I've been having a lot of fun with experimenting with recently. I'm not that good at Quinn yet. I'm not a pro Quinn player or anything, but I'm definitely going to be playing her a lot more in the future. I hope you guys all enjoyed this gameplay commentary. I definitely enjoyed making it. Please leave a like, leave a comment, give me some feedback. Do you want to see more of these? Is there any other type of video you would like to see on the channel? I'm trying to rebrand here and make a lot more content for you guys, be a lot more entertaining. I hope I succeeded in this specific video, and I hope you guys did enjoy watching. But until next time, thank you very much for watching. Good luck in solo queue, and have a wonderful day.